Hello.
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 Let's go!
Hey, kids.
Hey, Dad.
War crimes will be prosecuted.
Let's head out of Liberty City. Burn it to the ground.
Does the word mean anything to you?
Yeah, I chose this profession, so therefore I earned beer.
You want to go to the matinee?
The feeling is definitely there.
You don't know my name!
It's a new morning in America.
This is the old dude, Howard J. Reynolds. Step into my office.
Not going to be too many punks.
Don't you stop worrying about the punk?
You! That's my name.
Yeah, let's go to the punk rock show.
Introducing, for your listening pleasure.
Here we are. Here we go. It's the High Fives podcast, episode 60. That was the Adavans with a track called Back to the Start off the much anticipated Hymns for the Wizard Castle. It's a new song EP. I was waiting for you to chime in. Hi, Mike.
Hi, Nate. I just, I think you should do the podcast always in that voice from now on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a new 7-song EP, album, full length. Who knows, but it's awesome. Like that?
Yeah. I think 70s hype man DJ is what you should go for all the time.
I don't know that I could keep it up for that long.
And these are the smooth sounds of The Advance.
With their new album, because we get those kind of privileges being on a big podcast like the High Fives podcast. People just send us new material before it goes out to all the rest of you kids. So we've got to listen to it. Now you've got to listen to at least a song. It's the last track, Back to the Start. Great album. Have you listened to it yet?
I did. I listened to it today. It was excellent.
Today?
Well, I was waiting for the link from you, but I never got it, so I had to go to the band directly to get it.
Well, I like to hold things over you.
Lazy work, Nate.
I don't know if you've noticed that. It kind of has that Dirt Nap vibe to it. Did you feel that?
I didn't get that, but
no?
I felt like it was a little bit. I felt like it was just a progression from the last album. I really liked their last album, and they're one of the local bands I really like. So,
the Advance. New album comes out, I don't know. When do you think? Couple weeks? Probably by the time this comes out, sometime in September, maybe.
Yeah, it's
Look
in September.
for it on your digital record store shelves. It's a gooder. Straight ahead, good time, punk rock, the Advance. Hymns for the Wizard's Castle. That's it. That's all the plugging I can do.
Yeah.
And if you really want to check out some more from the Advance, you can always search out Billy's interview that we did with him a couple years ago, you think?
Oh, it would have been our first year of doing the podcast, I think.
No, first year.
Yeah.
Really?
I think so.
Well, it's buried in the episodes somewhere in there.
Yeah, it is. And I would look for it. It's interesting. He just joined Chicks Dig It, and then talks about Chicks Dig It, talks about the Advance.
It's a great interview.
And he's a nice guy.
Really good. He's
an all-around good guy, hey?
All right, they only paid us for 3 minutes, Mike. You're going over now.
Well, Billy just gave me some extra cash to just talk about him.
He has never once called you.
No.
You know that. So here we are with episode 60. 60, Mike. I always love it when we hit these
Milestones?
0 numbers. Is it a milestone? I guess, yeah, every 10 is kind of a milestone, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I'd say.
Yeah.
60 sounds better than 54.
It sure does.
Yeah.
It sounds much more accomplished.
Yes.
Yes. The topic that was chosen for episode 60 is songs for Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 and 2, the remake.
Yeah.
Is that a good title?
Sure.
Kind of like what did they miss, right? That's kind of what we settled on, right?
Yeah, sort of. Yeah, I guess. Not sort of.
That's how I approached it, but we all know that I'm a big cheater if you listen to the last episode. So I just thought I'd be upfront with you right away, right out of the gate. So there's no, oh, you're a cheater. None of that.
What did you cheat on?
You called me a cheater in the last episode.
You were a cheater in the last episode. It wasn't even just me. After, when people listened to it, they confirmed that they felt that was cheating.
Because there's Team Mike and there's Team Nate, and that's all there is to it. There's people take sides.
They do.
Yeah.
The right side.
So we're we're on track then, yeah? We're on base.
Yes.
It's the songs they missed, yeah?
Yes.
Okay.
It's kind of funny because when we came up with the topic, we didn't know that they were going to be adding songs to Tony Hawk's game. So they added about 36 new tracks to the game.
I did know that, actually.
No, but
when we decided on this.
No, we picked the topic before. I sent you a text long before, probably a week after they announced the game was coming out, and you were like, "Yeah, it's a good one. That's a good one. We'll put that one in the. How do you always put it? Put it in the can. I think that's what you say to me. We'll put that one in the can.
That's the lingo.
And we'll.
That's the lingo, Mike.
We'll talk about doing that later. If I don't.
And here we are.
Yeah,
we've arrived at later.
But they did redo some of the soundtrack with about 36 new tracks. Did you check any of those new tracks out?
I did. So I waited until I picked my picks, and then I actually looked today. Today was the first time that I saw what those new tracks are. But I like that they're picking most of the old ones.
Yeah, it would be a shame if they got rid of the old ones, because the Tony Hawk soundtracks were they're pretty awesome. Especially for us, it probably didn't make that big of a difference because we were already listening to a lot of that music. But I know from speaking with other people that like that's the first time that they heard like the Suicide Machines or something like that.
Yeah.
So,
well, which was like kind of an odd pick, right? Like for a big, I don't know, maybe they didn't know it would be as big of a game as it was, but like, you know, like there were some fairly like not so well known like bands that were in that game. Like that was on their first record.
I think some of it has to do with skate culture being intertwined with punk rock, especially
totally.
Especially at that time.
But I guess like for the first one, I would have expected more of like that Fat Records and Epitaph sound, and that didn't really come till the second one. You know, like that first one had like Suicide Machines and the Vandals and Suicidal Tendencies, and then like by the second one, it was like Millencolin, Lagwagon, Swingin' Utters, Bad Religion.
Yeah, which one and the Browns are on there, which I think is hilarious. Shout
is that
out
right?
Yeah, the Browns are on one of them. American
one of the
Werewolf,
first two?
Maybe third, Tony Hawk.
So this is what blew me away is I couldn't believe that there was like the Tony Hawk wiki says there were 19 games spawned by this I don't know what you call it, this series, I guess. 19.
Crazy. That's insane. I didn't know that. But again,
right?
I'm not much of a video game guru. Are you a big video game guy?
I'm not really a gamer, but like this game, like, I mean, how many times would you have played this game back in those days?
Oh, tons of times. I know that like I had it on 64 and I think maybe a bunch of our friends did at their house. Like,
yeah.
So we would go over there and play it at night.
I recently played it on 64.
I am jealous because I would love to play it.
It's so much fun.
Yeah.
Like, I thought, oh, for sure, this is going to be like the fun is going to be just sucked out of it because we're just too privileged now with video games, right? But it was so much fun.
I'm debating getting a system just to play the new one or to play these.
Oh, the new one's going to be, it's one of those games for sure. Like when Guitar Hero came out, like I think people bought systems so that they could play that game, right? I know I did. I bought an Xbox 360 so I could play that game. Yeah. And I may end up buying a new system to play this game because it just looks awesome.
I feel like that's what's going to happen to me here. On the same line, do you skateboard? I think I know the answer, but
I do not skateboard.
You do not skateboard. I do not skate. I try to skateboard, but I'm a shitty skateboarder.
It's so hard, man. And I'm too old. I just get injured so easily. I get injured on trampolines. I don't need to put a board under my feet.
So I wanted skateboard so bad. Like my whole life, I just want to skateboard. I cannot do it for the life of me. I'm just the shittiest skateboarder.
Oh, it's
and
hard,
I feel like
man.
such a poser. Like going into a skate shop is like so embarrassing for me. I'm just like I like this. I like the clothes. I like the culture of it. But I just suck so bad. And I can just tell a reek of poser walking in.
They smell that, Mike. You've got to have more confidence.
No, I'm done. The minute I say anything, and you try to drop some lingo or something, and someone's like, "Nah, you don't know what you're talking about. Go back to West 49, Dad."
You're
you
like
fucking
a gazelle,
narc.
a gazelle in the lion's pen. That's
like,
what you are.
You know that in the Simpsons episode where Homer goes to Lollapalooza and he puts on a Rasta hat, and he's like, and someone's like, "Dope." Something about start calling him a narc, and they start saying about hate crimes. That's how I feel about when I walk into a skate shop.
That's you.
Yeah. Narc.
That's fair. That's fair.
So what have you been listening to, Nate?
I thought you'd never ask, Mike. Thank you for asking. Because I have a list for you here.
I feel like we don't talk. I feel like we don't talk as much now because of quarantine. Like I feel like we don't even text as much as we used to text, Nate. Now I'm just stuck with this once a month video chat crap. You're really hurting my feelings, dude.
I'm hurting your feelings. It's a two-way street, Mike.
Oh, I don't chase.
Yeah, I know that. I've spent my whole life waiting, and it still hasn't come. I've been listening to the new Wildlife album, Year of the Snake. Have you heard that one?
I have. On your recommendation. So it's pretty good. I still don't get the love for the band like you do. Like I know you love it.
Yeah, it's
crazy. It should be everything I like too.
Yeah, it should be, but it's not. It's the glam, rocky glam punk.
I just
to a T, I think.
Yeah, it's done well. I just, sometimes when somebody tells you you're gonna like something, so you build it up in your head, and you just like, you're not into it. It's kind of like I'm thinking like how you were with the Suicide Machines album. You had it built up in your head,
Right.
but it got too high up that you can never get to that. So
it's
just
unfair.
okay.
It's just unfair.
It is unfair. It's
Yeah.
it's human nature to screw up like that, I guess. Hey,
All right.
what else? You got?
Another band I've been listening to is I just found this band the other day. They're called the Navesink Banks. You ever heard of them?
I've heard of them only because of you, but I've been meaning to check it out, and I have not checked
But you
it out.
haven't.
I just haven't had a chance.
So it's just great hooks, mid-tempo, punk rock, like kind of that, similar feel to a lot of the stuff that we're all kind of listening to these days. And there's like a Gaslight kind of influence in there that you can hear, but it's not like a copy. It's just more of like,
homage.
Yeah, exactly. That's a great word. Nice. And Navesink Banks, coincidentally enough, is a song title from Gaslight Anthem's Sink or Swim.
It is.
So there's even a bigger connect there, Mike. Farewell Youth EP. I'm enjoying it.
Cool.
Lastly, West Coast versus Wessex.
I was waiting for this
Frank
to come
Turner
up.
and NoFX split. I really like it. I really love those BYO splits that they did. I don't think they've done one of those in a long time.
No, they
I
haven't.
don't know.
Like,
I don't have my ear to the ground, but
I don't think so.
they haven't.
No. I love that. I always like that too. Like, I'm a big fan of that.
Yeah. Yeah. I love this idea. I love that the songs that they chose weren't like the obvious choices necessarily. And so when you talk about like the Frank Turner songs, I think he did like a lot of unexpected songs and then gave like unexpected treatments to a lot of the songs. Like there's that one on there that like kind of sounds like a Nine Inch Nails song, like not what I expected from Frank Turner at all. Like it's not like he just stripped them down and played them. Like he really put some effort into, remaking these.
He's really good at covers. Like I don't know if you've ever checked out. He has those like 3 albums where he's got a chunk of covers on them. He does a really good job. Because I don't think
I've heard those.
He doesn't do an obvious like rendition of it, like especially when it's like somebody like Frank Turner. You're like, oh, he's just going to do an acoustic version, right? He puts his little spin on it, so it sounds pretty good. And I thought NoFX did a really good job in that too, in that making those Frank Turner songs sound like NoFX songs.
Yeah,
which is
you'd
awesome.
never guess that those were acoustic songs just sped up with distortion. Like I think both parties put a lot of work into doing like a proper, I'm going to use your word, Mike, homage to the other band or the other group or the other singer-songwriter. So if you haven't checked it out, definitely worth checking out.
For sure. And it was unexpected that I liked it so much myself. I didn't think it was going to be as good as it was.
It was unexpected.
Yeah.
It
Even
definitely
better.
was. Michael, what have you been listening to?
Well, Nathan, what have I been listening to?
Tell me all about it.
The first thing I've been listening to is a lot of first wave ska, which is because I've been reading a book.
Summertime?
No, well, that too, but I've been reading a book called The Oral History of Ska by Heather Augustin. As I've been going through it, anytime there's like a mention of a song, I'll just go check it out. So it's not per se an album that I've been listening to, but like just a bunch of stuff like Derek Morgan, Millicent Todd, Prince Buster, Toots. Lots of cool stuff in there. It's been an interesting journey. After that, the Lawrence Arms album.
Nice.
I'm in love in that one. I was a big fan of Metropole. In love with it.
Wow.
Well, I really liked Metropole, and I feel like this is like a stronger extension of that album. Like I feel like they took a step off the good stuff from that album and made this one. I don't know.
I feel like it's not quite as like polished too. I don't know. Did you get that feeling? Like Metropole had like a shine on it that was like almost a little bit too shiny. Yeah. And they kind of stripped that back, which I prefer.
Yeah, they stripped it back, but they kept the charm of Metropole, I think.
Sure.
Another album I'm listening to is the Raging Nathans album. Do you listen to them?
You'd think I would.
Uh-huh. Oh yeah. I didn't even put that together.
It was, in fairness, that's a tough code to crack, Mike.
Yeah. Well,
there's detectives that wouldn't see that.
Yeah. Not everybody's Columbo.
Not everybody. I have not listened to a lot of the Raging Nathans, even though we share a namesake. But the stuff that you've pointed me towards, I've enjoyed.
Yeah, so this album is like heads above anything else they've done. So I would recommend checking
Heads above.
Yeah.
Wow.
The production on it's awesome. The songwriting's awesome. It's a great album. It's a great punk rock album if you're just looking for that kind of thing.
Full length album, you say?
Full length.
Okay.
I've been listening to the NoFX Frank Turner split, but we discussed that already.
When?
Well, minutes ago. Days.
Oh,
we did
it was on the dais.
Yeah. And finally, the Kill Lincoln album,
Yes.
which was a huge surprise because I'd heard the name before, but I hadn't really known about it. And then I just saw it kind of coming up. Everyone seemed really excited for this release online. And I was like, well, a ska album, ska-core album, I don't know. Am I too old for that? Is it? But these guys are, I don't know, this is really good stuff. Like, I don't know. I know when I showed it to you, you said it gave you an LTJ vibe. And now I can't get past it.
That earlier LTJ for sure. Yeah.
But I got a kind of like a early Flatliners vibe to it too. So
A little crustier. You hear the crust in it.
A little bit, but it's great. Like if you like that kind of stuff, like I mean, I'm not going to pretend it's for everybody, but if you're into that kind of stuff, it's probably one of the better ska third wave, I guess. Even though it's probably not the third wave anymore. I'm sure they have a
different...
different
ninth wave, Mike.
Yeah, whatever
the ninth wave.
Whatever wave
now.
it is, it's a good ska punk album. I check it out. It's pretty good.
It's summertime, so really anyone who's experiencing summer right now, so us Northern Hemisphere people, will dig it, I think.
I just wanted, before we get into the topic, I wanted to bring up a couple things about last episode. Is that all right, Nathan?
Yeah, like some
I'd like
notes.
to really drag out this
notes?
first thing so that you're just like, what the fuck? I have to edit more of this?
It's perfect.
I just wanted to say thanks to all the people that sent in lists for this one, because I honestly thought we wouldn't get a list. I don't know. And it was pretty funny to read some of the stories. I didn't post the stories on Instagram because I don't really have time to type out everyone's stories, but the stories are pretty funny. Thanks for embarrassing yourselves.
One listener even said it was our best episode yet.
Really?
Yeah.
Ah, how did I miss
So
that?
I don't know what that says, Mike.
It was a good episode, actually, I guess. And then one of the funnier things about that was last week we had a discussion in our WhatsApp chat about a misheard lyric on my part now. So just to clear things up, I was looking for songs for the Calgary Flames to play as a goal song.
Ah, yes.
Somebody suggested Chicks Dig It, Hot and Horny in Calgary. Oh, Hot and Horny is the song called, right? Hot and Horny is the title of the song?
That's the title, correct?
Which would be a hilarious goal song. So I looked up the lyrics, and the lyrics on Apple Music said, hot and horny and carefree, I'm ready to fuck tonight. Which led me to wonder if we'd all been saying it wrong, because we had all assumed it was hot and horny in Calgary, I'm ready to fuck tonight.
Right.
Now, I took a lot of heat in the room for that.
Because nobody agreed with you. Everyone was like, no, it's Calgary for sure.
Yeah.
It's just that
Apple
Apple Music doesn't know what Calgary is.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I reached out to Chicks Dig It. They confirmed it is Calgary.
Oh, well, I'm glad you put that to bed.
So I wanted to admit I was wrong. I'm very happy to admit when I'm wrong.
Look at you, changing every day, Mike.
Yeah. But I thought it was funny that we had a top discussion about a misheard lyric right after our episode. But so maybe after today's Tony Hawk episode, we'll have tons of conversations about songs that could have been in Tony Hawk. That's all I want to get to.
And you're being a better you.
Yeah.
And that's great.
I am a better me.
Yeah. All right.
All right, Nate.
Well, let's do the
I can't wait
first
to hear
one.
you. Whoa, I'm sorry. I'm interrupting you. See, this is the weird thing about doing it online. Like
I know.
When I see you right in front of me, I know to not speak. But now when I have to look at you in a video, I'm just distracted by all the stuff going on.
I know. There's so many things.
Yeah.
That disco ball spinning. It's mesmerizing.
You got a party going on in the back there. Is that a stripper pole?
Well,
you've been working out?
I'm not going to give away all my secrets, Mike. This is my bedroom, and you're not invited.
It's not the first time.
No, and it won't be the last.
No.
My first song of the evening, Mike, right out of the gates, I'm going to just spend all the money because I feel like this song, I'm a little bit surprised it never made 1, 2, or any of the other 17 that came afterwards. I mean, it could have. I didn't look past the first two.
Yeah.
Papa Roach started to becoming very, very popular amongst the other 17, which led me down
And that's why you have a Papa Roach tattoo.
and that's why.
Yeah.
And so I'm just going to spend all the licensing money on my first song.
Ooh.
But like, this is the song. Like, this is the song that should have like really just paved the way for the Tony Hawk Skate video games.
Sure.
It fulfills the hip hop. And I know you said earlier on you weren't going to play any hip hop. It's not what you think. But when I started thinking about it, and I started thinking about because there's a lot more hip hop on the new one in those.
Which makes sense. Hip hop culture and skate culture has always been intertwined as well, right? So
for sure.
Yeah.
And I saw, before I started making my picks, I did see a post that flew by and Tribe Called Quest was on it. And I was like, oh my God, Can I Kick It would be the best song. And sure enough,
isn't it?
It's on there.
Yeah, it's in there.
Yeah, it's in there. Well, as of the new ones, not the old ones.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay. I trust you.
It's one of the new ones. Yeah.
Okay. Makes sense.
So anyways, I couldn't pick that one. But another song came to me. And the song comes from 1994. It's from the album Ill Communication. And the song is Sabotage by the Beastie Boys.
Is that not on there?
No.
Wow, I'm surprised.
Right?
I'm guessing they probably just didn't want to pay Beastie Boys.
Probably.
Actually, I'm trying to think. There's no Beastie Boys in any of the ones I played. So,
but what a great song to be on there, right?
Great skate band too. That's probably one of the first bands that got me into like that kind of skate culture, like visually wise, like watching their videos and stuff. So
this song is all kinds of skateboarding video game.
Yeah, for sure. Good choice, Nate.
Thanks, Mike. To you.
To
you.
me.
What's your big banger out of the gates?
Wow.
Or are you going to lead up to the big bang?
I'm just going to go with something that works a little bit here.
Okay.
It's a band that I feel screams skateboarding, basically because they're a skateboarding themed band.
Well, that would make sense.
Their name is Skateboarding Totally Rules, Everything Else Totally Sucks. Also known as
That's the
Streets.
band's name?
Also known as Streets. So it's a shame that they're not on a Tony Hawk album. Their whole thing is songs about skateboarding.
Right.
But I figured I'd go with Come On Everybody, Grab Your Skateboard, Let's Go. Yeah.
And there it is.
That's the song.
So it's pretty on the nose.
It's pretty on the nose. It's like 30 seconds. It screams
30 seconds.
Yeah, it screams skateboard video game. Like it almost feels like, I think the end sound clip is from Tony Hawk.
Perfect.
Like someone wiping out, or it's just a person wiping out on a skateboard. One or the other. But if you haven't heard Streets before, I recommend getting all three of their albums because they're probably one of the best kept secrets in Canada. And they're not around anymore.
How can you deny that sales pitch?
Yeah.
That's my question to you. Not you, the other people.
Yeah, come on, other people.
Listen, all y'all. This is Sabotage by the Beastie Boys and...
Come On Everybody, Grab Your Skateboard, Let's Go by Streets.
Back and
So here's a question, and maybe you have the answer and maybe you don't, but I didn't realize until I recently played the game, or I didn't remember until I recently played the game, that there's no lyrics. Like it's all just, there's no vocal. It's just all instrumental, and it's only like a 25 or 30 second loop. Like it's not the whole song and there's no vocal.
I don't think that's right.
No, it
I
is
feel like
right. I just played the game.
Like Superman? For sure, Superman.
It's not. It's just instrumental.
So we just knew the words to all these songs because we knew them?
Yes.
That's crazy, because in my head I hear like Superman playing in there, and even like even that shitty band CKY. Like I can hear that Disengage
It's
the
just
Simulator
instrumental. Here's the weirdest take of, and maybe you remember the song and maybe you don't, but Primus. How were they on that first one? Jerry was a race car driver.
No, that makes sense, because there's like weird that whole like 1980s late or early 90s skateboarders would have liked bands like Primus and things like that. Like that
really
flowed into that world.
I don't know. It flowed into that world for sure, but it was fringe. Like they were kind of in that very fringe area of like the Butthole Surfers.
Yeah, but I would say they would be part of that too. Anybody actually, I was thinking about that. Any of those bands that are part of California surf culture would definitely jive with like Tony Hawk, not our age Tony Hawk eras, but like older than us guys would probably dig that kind of stuff, and they probably like crossed over. So the people making the video game probably like we were like 16, 17. Those guys were probably in their late 20s, and they're like, well, these are the bands I liked.
Yeah,
so that's how I feel.
I still feel like Primus is a weird choice. It's a bizarre choice.
Go back and think about comps from like the 90s that were like,
oh, for sure.
That kind of put those bands in there. Like a band like Primus would be on a comp, or a band like Butthole Surfers, or a band like one of the bands I picked. We'll talk about it later when I pick that band, but maybe I'll even use it in this one. I don't know. Probably not.
I also saw today that the original game came out in 1999, which feels late, doesn't it? Like I feel like we were teenagers when the game came out.
It doesn't, only because I know that everyone was living at 109 when it came out.
Oh, so there you go.
I would go there and play it. That's the first system I didn't own. My brother bought that I didn't own myself. My brother bought a system, and I had to ask him to borrow to play games and stuff in my room.
Another great story from the Kondik family scrapbook.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know.
So going back to my question, do you think that the new iterations are going to have are they going to have vocals on them? Have you heard, are they going to have vocals on them, or are they just going to be the instrumental 30-second loops that are going to play?
I'm guessing they will have lyrics, because I think, and somebody might correct me on this, but I'm guessing nowadays games have more capacity. So maybe one of the reasons they had the instrumental was not the inability to have the capacity to.
I felt it was like licensing, maybe.
Could be that too. Who knows? Like I've played other skateboarding games. There's a skateboarding game called Skate, and they have all the words in their songs, and that's like a newer one.
All right.
Did you ever play the Tony Hawk one where you needed the skateboard, like the actual
No.
the controller, like a skateboard? Like you stood on it. I tried to find one of those online. They're expensive.
Was it
I wanted
hard?
to play it.
I feel like
I never
that
played
would
it.
be way too hard.
I feel like it'd be so much fun, but
No, it wouldn't be fun. You'd just be frustrated the whole time. Like it's hard enough to do, like a Japan Air on Tony Hawk 1, let alone like having
do
to
that in my
actually
sleep.
Yeah. All right. On to number 2.
Yeah.
I really went on the nose. I went with a pick similar to your first pick
Yeah.
on my second pick.
Yeah. What'd you do?
We're a little out of sync.
Should I guess?
Just a little bit.
Can I guess?
I mean, sure.
Is
Sure,
it
if you like.
Is it a TBR song?
You knew it was going to be, right? You knew it.
I'll let you go. Look at me. I know
I
you
love
so
that
well.
you knew it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you probably felt like this was a little bit of the low-hanging fruit variety, but, I don't mind that fruit basket.
That fruit
I
basket
actually
can be
enjoy it.
fine.
The lowest of the fruit is always the sweetest, Mike. It's a rule. It's
All
a
right.
rule. It's a song that screams skateboarding. It's really on the nose, which is also a skateboarding reference, if you see what I did there.
Yeah.
On the nose.
Oh.
I love this song. I've always loved this song, and you know, it's a song about skateboarding, Mike. That's all I can say about it. It's Skate or Die by Teenage Bottle Rocket. They come from the shadows.
Also, like the original skateboarding video game, Skate or Die.
There you go. So many layers.
So many layers. Did you like Skate or Die? Do you remember that one on Nintendo?
No, I don't remember that one.
There was Skate or Die and Ski or Die.
Like OG Nintendo, or
like Nintendo NES.
Wow.
Yeah.
I feel like it would have been awful.
It was fun. I think I would still play it. There's that one, and then there was like California Games had skateboarding in it as well.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah. Good old days. 2 buttons. 2 buttons.
The new controllers overwhelm me.
That's part of the reason I don't like video games, because I don't know what's going on.
It's too much.
Yeah. Second song I picked was a band from the 90s who got back together in the later 2000s and put out a 7-inch or a split. Sorry, I don't know if it's a 7. It's a split on No Idea in 2011. It's a band called Seaweed. Did you like Seaweed?
Seaweed. You know what? I don't think I ever listened to Seaweed, but the only thing I really know about Seaweed is that they were on that 96 tour with Rancid, and they never did any of the Canadian shows.
They were on Rancid. What a weird lineup.
And AFI replaced Seaweed.
That makes more sense. Like, I saw that's the show we were at anyway.
Yeah. Seaweed was on the ticket stub. They were supposed, and I had no idea who they were then, and I have no idea who they are now. But I feel like they were like
they were on Sub Pop.
Okay,
so they're from Seattle or for Tacoma, and they're kind of like they got lumped in with those grunge bands, but they were a little bit more punk, like more not punk, I guess, because those grunge bands were kind of punk too, but they were like post-hardcore punk stuff. So they didn't really fit with them. Like they fit more with like a band like Quicksand. Or like even to some extent, like I'd lump them in almost with like Jawbreaker and Sam I Am and stuff like that, more so than like Nirvana or Soundgarden. But they got lumped in kind of in between. I don't think they fit in either world well. So like you just had to like know who they are to like them. And I wasn't like the biggest fan, but when this came out, I read a good review and I picked it up, and it was awesome. It's so much better than So it's 2 songs. The song I picked is called Service Deck. It's got a good post-hardcore kind of feel to it.
Does the deck in the title refer to a skateboard deck, Mike?
I don't think so. It might.
Okay.
It might.
Okay. But that's not what sent you on.
No, I just, the song came on my shuffle like about a month ago, and I was like, this song's really good. And then I was just thinking about it. I'm like, this song would, like when I was listening to it more and more for this, I was like, this song would be a really good song to listen to while you were skateboarding.
So let's do it. Let's put it on the episode.
For sure. Let's get rad, Nate. Let's get rad.
Let's Skate or Die, TVR, and
Seaweed, Service Deck.
Don't be a pussy, there's no need to cry, so shut up and get right, 'cause
Michael, have you seen the new list? Did you look at it?
I skimmed it.
You skimmed it.
I skimmed it.
So here were the
Looked good.
standouts for me. Tribe Called Quest. Can I Kick It? Is there a more perfect song?
No,
I don't think so.
When I used to DJ on the patio of Broken City, I loved playing that song up there. It's just like such a good, like, chill song.
So good. Alex Leahy. Did you know that she was
Yeah,
on there?
I saw she was on there. That's pretty good. That's a good pull.
That's a Mike Condick pick right there.
Yeah.
And she's Australian too, right? So shout out.
Yeah.
Australia. Billy Talent was a little bit of a surprise for me. Shout out Canada.
Can't go.
Fiddler. Did you see that one?
Cool. That makes sense. I assumed Fiddler would be on there, so I didn't pick Fiddler for those list. Although I'm
Pew also
pew,
made
pew,
it.
pew. I knew they were going to be on there with it's got to be they're going to play mid-20 skateboard or whatever that is.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
There's no way shouldn't be on there.
Less Than Jake. MXPX.
All makes
Real
sense.
Big Fish.
Makes sense.
Real Big Fish was a little bit of a surprise for me. The Ataris. And let's not forget Strung Out.
Ooh.
And
Strung
do you
Out
know
should be on it.
Do you know what song?
Is it off their best album?
What would your guess be?
If it was me, I would have put Bring Out Your Dead because I think that's a great skate song.
It is a great
But it's
song.
not.
It's not.
It's not it, though.
What is it?
What do they got?
Tell me what it is, Mike.
I don't know what it is.
I'll give you one more guess. It's off that album. Same album.
Gearbox?
Firecracker.
Firecracker's a good song for that.
Great
Actually,
song.
I wonder if they're going to use the remasters or the originals because I still feel like the original's better than the remaster version.
I don't know if I've listened to the remastered, to be honest with you. I don't like it when they do that, to be honest. I mean, like with old stuff, yeah, I'm down with that. Because, like, you know, sometimes the recording quality it wasn't what it could have been. But it's not that old, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, moving on to number three.
Number 3.
I've talked about this band before, but I don't think I've played anything by this band. I think they were featured in an episode's section of What Are We Listening To?
Oh, that's my favorite episode. Section.
It's your favorite part of the...
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just like hearing about what I'm listening to, not about what you're listening to.
I like writing what I'm listening to, and then I like listening to it on the podcast afterwards.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the best part. I love your face right now, just so you know. I love it.
No one can see my face.
So this band, they have put out one record. I found this band last year. They have one release. It came out last year. They're a duo from the Netherlands. Band's intention: we'll write 13 songs, we'll put it out, we'll tour it a bit, and then call it a day. That was it. That was the whole. That was
Really?
that was the big
I like
scheme.
I like that.
Yeah, I like it too. And they felt like, you know, in 2019, we are missing out on 90s punk rock. We need more of it in 2019.
13
and so that's
songs?
what they set out to do. Yeah. Fits, right?
Yeah.
So like this band, it's like got this perfect blend of like NoFX, MXPX, New Fan, Bad Religion, Slick Shoes, like all just coming together.
And it's only 2 people?
Harmonious. Yeah. So there's just 2 guys that are like the guys that wrote it all and recorded it all. And then I think when they were touring it, they, you know, picked up some musicians to play because it probably wouldn't be as good with just 2 guys. I think there's only a couple of bands that can really pull that off. So the band's called Saint Plaster. I don't know if you ever checked it out. You ever
I do recall
that out?
checking it out. I do recall checking it out, and I do recall liking it.
You do?
Yeah.
Well, that's always such a big compliment when you say that.
But I feel like that's a big callback to like maybe the first year of us doing this podcast.
That far back, hey?
Yeah, I feel like
I don't think it was that far back because it
No?
just came out last year.
Oh, okay. Well, it's all a blur.
It's all a blur. Last year feels like 10 years ago.
It does feel like 10 years ago. So
Yeah.
give me some slack.
The slack is yours, my friend.
All right.
But I just felt like, you know, for that game coming out in like the 90s, and it deserved a new 90s song from today's day and age. So that's why I picked it. Song's called Seriously, Fuck the Modern Man, and it's by Saint Plaster off their self-titled record.
Like it. All right, Nathan. So I think we touched on this, and I don't know if we were recording when we touched on it, so we'll go back.
I love to touch, Mike, so just keep touching.
They call you Mr. Touch. Some of the Tony Hawk games had a little bit of a ska element. A little bit of like ska punk.
Show.
So I felt like I should try to put something in from that. And one of the bands I've been listening to lately is a band called Omnigone.
Omnigone.
You listened to that before?
I have not.
It's it's Adam from Link 80.
Okay.
He started a new project. He was also in Dessa and Narboots. But he wanted to kind of like do stuff that he did with Link 80 but without reforming Link 80 and without like just rehashing an old thing. So he started Omnigone, and he's got like a revolving cast of musicians that help him with the songs and tour, whatever, however they're going to do it. Like, it's not just the same people on every song other than him. Link 80 is one of my favorite like ska core bands. So I was really stoked on it. It's a pretty good album. The album is called No Faith. And the song I picked is called Horizontal Aggression. Horizontal aggression.
You got
horizontal.
it. You got it.
I like to do the horizontal aggression. It's a new dance.
Can you show it to us?
Well, only you would
show
see
it to me, and I'll do the play-by-play.
When you invite me over to your room to use that stripper pole,
I
will show you the horizontal aggression.
All right. Wow.
Yeah. And then anybody who pays for is it Patron? Is that how you say that word?
Patreon.
Patreon. They can see me do the horizontal.
I believe that's an alcoholic beverage.
Yeah. I believe it's an expensive tequila, no?
I believe.
Yeah.
I believe.
Anyway, band's Omnigone, song's Horizontal Aggression. If you like Link 80, you'll like it. If you don't, you probably won't.
Well, that's really to the point.
Yeah.
Seriously, fuck the modern man, Saint Plaster.
Horizontal Aggression, Omnigone.
I think we got it.
You got it?
Here's a cat for come, a disposable object, a decoration for filter games, that is all there is to it. A good record of a story, more than a collection of some songs. EDM was meaningless in the days when I was young. I'm turning out just like my dad, talking shit about modern acts, but like the old man used to say, this time it's different. Sick of seeing birds playing for a couple friends, but it is clear that they should be playing stadiums they can. So I really cares, and they sure are gonna pay quality when they could just be streaming it for free. I'm a cynical old man, modern youth is lacking class, 'cause if that's what they call culture, they're just mental. You're just mental. Difference of perspective, a moment of confusion. There's no need for us to fight. We can find our own solution. Just a difference of perspective, a moment of confusion. There's no need for us to fight. We can find our own solutions. Pat yourself on the back. The empathy you lack for someone just like you. Tell yourself it's okay to act this way while your enemies are pushing through. Wrong word, wrong time. Missing about a lot. Did they really mean to try to upset you? What was the intent? Was it meant as disrespect? Take the time to see another view. It's just a difference of perspective, a moment of confusion. There's no need for us to fight. We can find our own solution. Just a difference of perspective, a moment of confusion. There's no need for us to fight. We can find our own solution. One more time for the folks in the back. Civil rights are under attack. Let's stand together, get back on track. Stop the infighting, cut each other some slack. One more time for the folks in the back. Your civil rights are under attack. Let's stand together, get back on track. Stop the infighting, cut each other some slack.
Mike, I have a question for you.
You're just full of questions today.
Did you see the Fat Mike picks top 30 records from Fat Records?
I have not. And I wanted, you know what? I was going to watch it today just because I thought you might ask me about it, but I didn't. So now I feel like I should have, and I blew it.
You did blew it. You blew it for sure. No, you blew it.
I blew it.
Can I spoil it for you, or are you going to watch it and not want it to be spoiled?
No, please spoil.
So here's some of the highlights. Some of the surprises. Less Than Jake, Borders and Boundaries was a bit of a surprise for me.
Surprised that Pat Mike likes it, but that's my favorite Less Than Jake album. So
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, see, I'm Hello Rockview all the way.
I like Borders better.
No Effects. He picked his own band, of course. War on Errorism was the pick, which was a little surprising to me. I love that he picked it, but a little surprising.
Which is the first No Effects that's actually out on Fat? Is that the first one that's actually out on Fat?
I think that might have been the first one. I think somebody's going to chime in and say it wasn't, but I don't know. So Long and Thanks for All the Shoes. He talks about it a little bit and says that whole album was comprised of 20-minute writing sessions. And that's why it's probably one of the best albums, because he just didn't overthink it.
That's my favorite No Effects album.
It's a great album.
But that's on Epitaph, no?
I'm not sure. It must. Maybe that's why he didn't pick it. He just talked about it.
Okay.
He gave Frenzal Rhom's greatest album was their greatest hits album. So I don't know if that's like insult.
That's a Nate move.
It is a Nate move, and like that greatest hits has like 40 songs on it. Like, it's huge. Something that was actually pretty funny, and I do want you to watch it because I want you to see if this happens to you, but because it's alternative press TV, like obviously the commercials are activated, right? So yeah, like the making money portion is involved, right? So every once in a while you get like a little ad come on, right? And like there's no real like, you know, it's just he's talking and then he gets interrupted by this ad and then he keeps talking, right? It's just it's all Fat Mike talking about records. So there's this one moment where he gets cut off and up comes the new album from Rascal Flatts. And it's like, you know, got this like super cheesy country song going with these guys that are just like, look like mannequins. And then it comes back and Fat Mike's like, "Bleh." So anyways, like he just lets out this big burp. It was the perfect, like unintentional, unplanned moment of the whole thing for me.
So if I watch it, will I get the same commercial?
I don't know. I hope so. I hope that comes up for you. But the big thing is he settles the strung out argument.
Ooh.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you want to know what it is?
I 100%. I want to know, and I await the discussion in the chat room.
Twisted. He picked Twisted.
Yeah.
I think that means it's settled.
Yeah.
There's no more need for discussion on this topic. There's no more need. It's over. Thank you, Mike.
It'll never die.
It's dead. It's already dead. So my next pick, funny enough, is a strung out pick.
Oh.
This is all big lead up.
Nice.
You like that? It's like a comedian. You know, they tell a big story and then they get to the punchline.
Yeah.
That's me. The song I chose is not from Twisted, and it's not from Suburban either, but it's from another album. It's from Exile in Oblivion, which I realize are not one of the argued upon albums, but nonetheless has a lot of pretty great songs on it. You like Exile?
I do.
Great. So years ago, when I did video for news, I was tasked to go out to like the Source Indoor Park and shoot a skate demo. I think it was like it was a big company that had come, like Foundation, I think was the company, but I can't remember for sure. And they had all their riders out there and, you know, just doing like a demo, right? Mm-hmm. And so I was out there and shooting it, and it was, you know, like moderately uncomfortable because, you know, I had that same feeling of being that guy walking into the skate shop. But afterwards, when I brought it back, like they were going to use it on the sports show, right? So great. Let's just cut together like a bunch of kind of cool, moments from the demo. Okay, cool. And it was like, well, we need some music for this. So I just went into my car and like picked whatever I had in the stereo, which was Exile and Oblivion. And I picked the song No Voice of Mine, which like to this day, when I hear it, it's just like this moment and then that video that just like instantly clicks in my mind. So that's what I chose. It's a banger of a song. It's got like this great opening that just kind of explodes. And that was kind of how the whole like skate demo led up to like mimic the song.
Nate, can our listeners find the copy of your footage from this online?
Oh no. This is before online was online, Mike.
Huh. So this pick is how I came up with the idea for the topic.
This story is off to a great start.
It is. You know when like an old person tells you a story and then they're like, there's lots of giant pauses? That's how I feel all my stories are going now. Like, and then I'll like switch to another topic about like something that has nothing to do with it. Like, did you know that onions...
All you need is a strong whistle coming out of your nose at the same time.
Oh, I'm definitely going to head to that strong whistle noise eventually here.
Right?
Anyway, back to my incredible story.
Yes.
This band started kind of like, I don't know if it was a joke or if they were serious, and they kept tweeting about how they should be in the new Tony Hawk.
Okay.
And then when it was announced that there was a soundtrack, they were not included. And
what a bummer.
Yeah, it is a big bummer. The band is called The Muslims. Have you heard of them before?
I have not.
So their album last year was called Mayo Supreme, which is like a joke about white supremacy. Like not a joke about white supremacy, but a joke like making fun of white supremacy.
Okay.
And they that got a lot of hype. And so I kind of started listening to them because I kept reading good reviews about it. They're an all-queer black-brown band from Durham, North Carolina. They write a lot of songs that are like, they're politically charged, edgy, but really funny too. So like they get their message across like unapologetically, but with like a twist of humor on them. So it's pretty good. The song I picked was called Call the Cops, and it's off their album from this year called Gentrified Chicken. So,
Gentrified Chicken.
Yeah.
So not like Kentucky Fried Chicken, because that's not gentrified at all.
No.
But like a bougie, like fried chicken place.
Anyway, you get the idea of like what they're kind of about. They're really cool. I think they're one of those bands that's like, in this day and age, is like important for kids to listen to, maybe like teenagers, because you get like punk rock's kind of muddled with basically white dudes, right?
Yeah.
So it's cool to see a band that's not that, and hopefully like you'll see more of that now. And I thought if there was a band in a video game that had that kind of thing, it could open eyes to a lot of people. So anyway, the band's called The Muslims. The song's called Call the Cops. Also, calling the cops is something that would happen to skaters a lot anyways. So
that's true.
Yeah.
Wasn't there like in one of the games, like cops, you could be a cop? Like you could, I feel like that was like an unlocked character that you could like be a cop.
Sounds familiar.
You remember that?
It sounds familiar.
But you don't remember.
I forgot about unlocked characters. Do they do that in games anymore? Or you just like, you probably just pay for everything?
Yeah, no, I was playing Super Mario Party with my son, and you can like, you don't get like 4 characters right in the beginning. You have to like play through like one of the adventure parts of the game to start unlocking characters. Have you played Mario Party?
I have not played Mario Party.
It's a pretty fun game. It's like a board game, but a video board game.
It sounds boring.
I feel like I think you'd like it.
I do like board games.
You're a board game kind of guy.
I love board games.
And you don't have to use all the buttons for it either. So
even better.
Right? I think you just use 2. No Voice of Mine by Strung Out and
Call the Cops by The Muslims. We made it to the end.
We did. Are you going to buy a system now, do you think?
Well, the systems aren't out yet for the new ones. They're coming out at the end.
No, the Xbox One is out. That's been out a long time.
Yeah, but the new Xbox comes out like in December.
But I feel like it's for the Xbox One because this game comes out in September.
Yes, I understand, but I'm not going to spend
All right.
money on the Xbox One if the new Xbox is coming out in December.
Oh, I see.
I'll just hold out. Or the new PlayStation.
see.
I haven't decided. I don't know if I'm an Xbox guy or a PlayStation guy, and I realize that's a very hot topic that I have no ability to discuss.
It's
So,
funny how there's always been like two in conflict, right? Like since really the advent of like video games.
yeah. Well, I think that's just common for a lot of things, right? Like there's always like two major choices. Like even if you think about phones, like there's people that are really in the Apple corner and there's people that are really in the Android corner.
Yeah. Yeah. No,
And
it's
just
true.
like, I've always just been like, whatever works for me.
And what does work for you?
Whatever.
But you'd switch, like if anybody gave you if somebody just said, here's the other one, you'd be like, yeah, cool.
Yeah, probably. I mean, like if you're going to get in phones, I'm an Apple guy, but only because everything I have is connected to it, but I have no like
Right.
allegiance to it. Like I'm not like, I don't have it because I think it's like superior. I think it's just that out of ease that I have those things work. But if somebody was like, if my work all of a sudden was like, well, we're moving to Android, I'm like, okay, I guess I got to figure that out now.
And down the iTunes wormhole we go. More of a drain hole than a wormhole, though.
Don't get me started, Nate. That's a podcast in itself.
Is there things you want to say?
Yeah, I'd like to say thanks.
All right.
Thank you to everyone for listening and hanging out with us. Thank you for all the awesome interactions we have, whether it's via our website, email, Instagram, or our WhatsApp chat. Thank you to everyone that makes doing this fun. Thank you to Nate for making this fun.
Hey.
Check us out on our webpage, highfives.ca. Check us out on Instagram. That's probably the social network we use the most, I would say, nowadays. What's our handle on Instagram? Is it High Fives Punk Rock Podcast? Do you know?
It sounds
I don't even
right.
know. I think that's what it is.
Yeah, that's got to be it. I think if you type High Fives Podcast in there, you'd be able to find it.
Yeah, I mean, just look for the thirst trap pics of Nate.
Yeah,
That's what we're really going for. There's just lots of thirst trap pics of Nate.
Thirst Trap. What's that?
It's just hot pics, Nate.
It's called Thirst Trap?
Yeah, come on, dude. You don't know what a thirst trap pic is? You know those pics of you in your shirt with like flexing and stuff? That's a thirst trap.
I know what the pictures are. I just didn't know that they were called that.
Yeah, it's just the kind of pic that gets you hot and horny in Calgary and ready to fuck.
Are you sure it's Calgary, Mike?
Well, I am now.
We don't know.
Anyway, thanks again for everything. If anybody's interested in checking out Jurassic Punk, one of these days we'll get that band going. That's my plea to get somebody in the WhatsApp chat to help me write some music here.
It's you got to be on the inside of the WhatsApp chat to know what he's talking about. But it's a great idea.
Jurassic Punk is
there's
scary in the dark.
Sweatpants involved.
Yeah, everything. Jurassic
Everything.
Punk. It's a new wave.
Everything.
Yeah.
They were showing that at like a drive-in. Did you see that? Like the Telespark drive-in? Are you going to go?
I am not.
No, you don't leave the house.
No, but I do.
That's
actually,
like going to a show. You're not going to that.
That's maybe one of the better things about quarantine is somebody brought back drive-ins because there's like a lot of them kicking around. And I liked going to the drive-in when we were in high school.
Yeah, I'm skeptical. I'm like, these are venues that don't know how to do a drive-in. So it's not going to be good.
Yeah, probably not.
You can't just say, hey, I host a drive-in now. Like it's so easy. It's not. I don't think it's easy. I think there's certain, grading to the soil that needs to happen there. You can't just like have a parking lot.
I think all you need is a parking lot and a screen.
No,
I'm pretty sure.
You need more. You need more.
You need a system to make sure that people aren't sneaking in trunks.
Yeah, you need systems in place. It's more than just a parking lot, Mike.
Yeah.
Anyways, something that doesn't happen that often is about to happen. I agree with you, Mike, about the ska quotient being a part of the Tony Hawk game.
Yes.
So my last pick is a ska song as well.
Oh, if I would have known, we would have doubled up.
I know, we're just one step behind, man. The whole time we're out of sync. We got to sync up.
We got to pick it up.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So like when you hear like those early songs, like this, like Superman and like New Girl, like I felt like the key was like, okay, so you can have like a ska song, but you can't have any horns in it. But now they've got LTJ and they've got Real Big Fish. So I'm like, okay, well that blows that theory out of the water. Like I felt like the horns were just like a little too much fun. You know, you need more like just the upstrokes and on the guitars, you know?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I do know what you mean.
So my pick is kind of the band of this time, like Goldfinger was of that time. You feel me?
Go on.
The band is the Interrupters.
Oh, totally. They're perfect for this, man.
Right?
Yeah.
And my pick would actually be She's Kerosene, because that song is just, that's the ticket. That's the one. But I've already played that song on this podcast, so I wasn't going to do it again. But there are so many songs off of that album, Fight the Good Fight. So instead of She's Kerosene, I chose Broken World, another banger. Mm-hmm. And that's my pick.
That's a good one.
That's my pick it up.
I almost put their version of Bad Guy in this.
I do like that song a lot.
So good.
But then you'd have to pay Billie Eilish a ton of money.
She seems like a cool girl.
Yeah. Somebody was telling me the other day that she has this, like, I don't think it's like a disorder, but it's like a common, like it's a known thing where people like see music in color. And she's got,
you know what?
that.
Now you're saying that, I vaguely remember reading something about that.
Isn't that nuts?
Yeah. She's actually pretty, like, I'm not a big fan of her music, but I've seen some interviews with her. She's actually pretty cool. And she, like, her and her brother wrote that album in her room. That's pretty impressive. And they, like, I think she still lives with her parents. Also kind of, like, she seems kinda,
I don't know anything about her other than she potentially sees music in color, which I think is out of this world, Mike.
But back to the Interrupters version of Bad Guy.
Yeah.
They use that in Umbrella Academy season 2, and it's done. It's used so well. Like,
nice.
Yeah. Anyway, good choice, Nathan.
Thank you, Michael.
The band I picked was a late audible. Like literally 10 minutes before we started recording, I decided on this one.
I love the late audible.
And the reason for the audible was I just kind of was thinking about when I was younger and into and really wanting to be a skateboarder.
Yeah.
And the kind of thing I would have liked to skateboard to. And the band is a band that we used to play in our friend Boats' car. The song, I believe I'm guessing it was either Justin, you, or Jer that brought it to the table, because I didn't know them very well, but they're an Alberta band. The band is the Smalls.
This is a Justin pick.
The song is MTV. And
nice.
When Boats used to play it in his car, he'd play it so loud, like the whole car would rattle. And I just feel like that's the kind of song that you'd want to like shut off the world and just go skateboarding to. So like, even though I'm a shitty skater, I do like to just cruise around on my skateboard because I can like balance on it. I just can't do any cool tricks. And I like listening to music and just skateboarding like that. So that's the kind of song that is just perfect for that. So
don't sell yourself short, Mike. I think there's a lot of people that just like use skateboards as transportation, not just like to do tricks and stuff.
Yeah.
Tricks are hard.
Everything's hard.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
It's very true.
Yeah, that's it.
That's it? That's all?
It.
That's all you got?
I hope you guys enjoyed this.
Just put this one down.
Yeah.
Put number 60 down. It's done. 60. It's in the books.
We await your lists.
Broken World, The Interrupters, and
MTV by the Smalls. Hope you all stay safe, wear a mask, and stay cool and be excellent to each other. We await your lists. See ya.
It's hard living in a broken world. Too much division in a broken world. Nobody listen in a broken world. We're on a mission. I wanna know when it's dark is a dungeon. Can you be a light? Can you bring peace in the middle of a fight? When you see separation, can you unite? When you see him doing wrong, can you do what's right? From the bottom of our
the sea coming undone after me. Empty me. We do each other, looking empty me. You got it locker, Toki queen. You got a shotgun phone magazine. Hit your mark out, mark me, yeah. Night of love flows everywhere.
I need you Canadian fucks to actually talk in Canadian fuck language. You fucking fucks. Scars been dripping on their face.